Alright, so this is my first follow-up video. I had a comment on last week's video, which was my first real video. Mr. Red right here, this is actually an old high school friend. He says, good starting point. I now understand that Splunk is an event and systems monitoring and record for computers and organization. It's a good place to start. Thanks, Roy. Presentation is naturally friendly. Okay, I fixed the audio. Does the audio sound better? Comment, let me know. Might be distance from the microphone. I actually had it off to the right, and I didn't yet have anything around it to stop ambient sound. And I was also running a server in the background, which I think a lot of people heard. Cool. But he asked some questions here. I think these are legitimate questions for his career, and I'm happy to help. How can Splunk over time show where resources are getting overburdened? Absolutely, we can talk about that. How can data locate and prevent breaches? Yes, that's an important aspect of Splunk. Splunk's bread and butter right there is those kind of conversations. Can Splunk work flexible with Azure? Yep, definitely. And other DevOps automations. DevOps, not so much. I'll talk about that in a second. And he has questions. He says, I don't know what I don't know. Tell me what I don't know yet. What's the secret sauce? Roy asked a lot. You asked a lot, man. The answer is, until you know the basic query language, until you know kind of the operations and the data that's coming in, and then understand how Splunk works, and then we talk about Splunk's secret sauce and what makes it special, what makes it different than its competitors versus just a simple syslog server. Once you have all of those kind of coalesced, we can really start to talk about these things. We can start to talk about Azure and AWS and start to build the implementation. What makes Azure and AWS special? What's their secret sauce and how that integrates? And we can talk about how location and searching the data and tricks and normalization of the data and taxonomy of the data and log files and the common information model, which will allow you to query the environment in more details. There's actually a lot that goes into being a powerful Splunk team. And my dream is that I will get all those videos up here. It's both to help me, because if I teach it, I learn it better. I've been doing this for a decade now with Splunk. I think I started in 2011 with Splunk. But, sorry, there's a plane. Can't help that. But I've been doing this since 2011, so I have over a decade of experience, different roles with Splunk. I feel like I'm the guy to do it. But me teaching it back is obviously going to make me better at this in the long run. As for your DevOps comments, I actually have not yet been convinced that Splunk is the tool for DevOps. And I'll tell you why. DevOps favors open source, free, and license-free solutions. Things that can scale up and scale down exponentially, not incrementally. And that's kind of the thing here. When we look, if I can use a free piece of software, the limit is my ability. When I use a paid piece of software, I'm kind of tied to a one-to-one cost to value ratio. Don't get me wrong, you buy enough Splunk, they'll make you a deal, but it tends to be jerky. If you look at something, when we talk about cloud, and cloud's pricing model is very reflective of a DevOps culture model, which is if I need something now, I should be able to scale up, and the second I get rid of it, I can delete it all. Think of standing up 100 servers in Amazon, and then deleting them the next day, and then only having a bill for those hours, if not minutes, you had those servers up. That is the crux of modern DevOps culture, is that I only pay for what I need, when I want it. With something like Splunk, you kind of have to pay ahead. You have to negotiate. You have to have conversations. That's what they call an anti-pattern. I can imagine there's situations out there where Splunk is better, where its ultimate cost and its feature set is good. But this is why Splunk continues to win more on traditional operations and security than it does in the DevOps world. We're seeing Prometheus, Elastic, things like that meet that first economic and operations model we talked about. And you know what? I'll talk a lot more about that in other videos. I wanted to say that I saw your message. Everything you're saying there. I can jump straight to some of these things if you're interested. If you already have that background, message me back. But for now, I'm going to build on those basics. I'm going to teach basic querying, setting up a lab, and building up basic Splunk. And then we'll build out detections together on AWS most likely. All right, hit me back with more questions if I misunderstood you or anything like that. Let me know.